because I know you mean everything to Christ. And Christ means everything to me.
I called on the Lord. I said, man, Father, this is real. Will you watch over me? Will you raise them up to be strong? I'm just a man with flesh. This is what you call for in your scriptures. You said they wore studs and fringes, they got it on. You said they follow the law, they doing it. You said under your house shine, they ought to love one another. And they doing it.
We're in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Shalom. You've been waiting for this day, so this day has finally come. A lot of you have been wondering where this knowledge that you've been hearing is coming from, and the powerful truth that you've been hearing, how this was established. Well, we finally were able to arrange for the priests to come down from New York and spend some time with us. And I'd like to introduce them if I can. These are some great brothers. We're very glad to have them with us. We want to make them feel as warm as possible, because this is their work and the extension of their work and what they've laid down some time ago. I'd like to introduce, first of all, priest and Sixth Shield General, 4th in command in the nation of Israel, Lahab. I'd like to salute this brother, Majo. Barak. Yeshabiam, which means sit. And I'm going to turn it over now to Priest General Lahab.
Water, brother. I'd like to say this, starting off, we're very impressed at your school here, and we're very impressed to see that the brothers and sisters in Philadelphia think enough of the Most High and the Bible and the truth and your nationality to be a part of this, because most of the brothers and sisters are running from the truth.
Welcome to ISUBK Detroit. Check us out on all social media platforms. Classes are Monday through Saturday. Monday is the history class from 7 to 9 p.m. Tuesday is scripture breakdown. Wednesday is biblical law class. Friday, Lashawan Kodash, Hebrew language. Saturday, the Sabbath service. Check out our community service program. We have food and clothing drives, helping the people in need. And we also have felony expungement services available. Join us and get involved.
ironic.
You know the truth is the truth, that's all I know. Cry loud and spare not, you gon' get exposed. A few real niggas left, you not one of those. Real soldiers, we was born to stand 10 toes. If he ain't one West, that nigga not one of mine. He got a purple 12, me, I got a black 9. The truth is the wife of my youth, chopper my concubine. Had to die to get my rib, that bitch forever mine. You know the game, a bishop gotta be blameless. But GMS teaching niggas to be rapists. They screaming we snitch. When Joel Morgan was killed by your brother, y'all ain't say shit. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK, PSA, we don't sign NDAs. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK, PSA, we don't sign NDAs.
Hey, 100 deep, 100 shields on, that's 100 priests. 100 boots, that's 200 feet. Tongue like a sword when I fucking speak. Teach you how to fish instead of fucking leech. Stop selling drugs instead of trying to fuck with me. Knowledgeable, but I'm rude in my fucking speech. Life is about warfare, not no fucking peace. Hey bitch, I cry loud when I fucking speak. Make them wait a year before they fuck with me. Turn a street nigga to a fucking priest. Cross a priest and I promise you forever sleep.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers got them killers with me. And I don't fuck with every spot cause it's too iffy. Real motherfucking prophet cause the Lord with me. But don't get that shit twisted, I got Drake's with me. Yeah, bitch, and that whole 50. Run up on me wrong, you gon' catch 60. Wait, you gon' catch 20. The other 30 for your homies, bitch, I got plenty. And I'll shoot this motherfucker till that clip empty. Taking orders from your bitch, you a fucking simpy. Shit, should be televised. The way I'm cutting niggas up, bitch, I'm a samurai. Niggas swear they in the troop, but telling hella lies. Stumping like you Greek, bitch, you Hellenized. The revolution gon' be televised. And what I see in my vision gon' leave you petrified.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas? UPK soldiers lead cowards in awe. So fuck a gas stop, I came with 6 pumps in my car. My niggas ready to swing, we like kids at the park. So touch a chair around this bitch and we breaking your jaw. They think we Christian, but we not. Nothing about us is soft. I don't know what you niggas on, but that shit get you off. We booted up. We came to take zones for real. Black 40 under my garment, I be dressed to kill. Fourth dimension sitting linger, I be fresh for real. Putting scripts on your corners, but these here ain't pills. We rock covers. You official if you know those drills. Bread and water, you official if you know those meals. Yeah, you niggas soldiers get rolled over. You got police in your pocket, I got a judge in my holster. Oppressors out to get us, so remain sober. Or be chained to them chains till there's nothing that remains of us. A cult leader like Christ, we got the same culture. I bang on them, tell my enemies the reign's over. I up the sig and keep pulling like a chain smoker. The game ain't changed, One West stayed the same on them. One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Niggas talking prophets, yeah, we got plenty. We the reason why it's Israelites around the city. Call Kazak, tells the rock, bring Shamar out. We about to slide on them, see what niggas talking about. Young dog think he wise cause he a Kim head. That shit lame, they didn't survive, nigga, Kim is dead. Where I'm from, little nigga, is a dirty game. I pledge allegiance to Yahweh, bitch, I'm UPK. Nigga, let's talk bodies. Set up on your corner, wake up everybody. Big priest, until I'm dead deceased. The mission is complete until you're off the street. Saw y'all on the internet, stumping down the street. But take the poor and the weak. Touch a sister or a brother, you gon' be sleep. But take the poor and the weak.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. West, one West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, one West. So who is y'all niggas? One West, one West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all niggas?
Fucking with the brothers, then I'm giving out major pain. Clip full of ball heads, I'm shooting out Damon Wayne's. Driven ambition, I ain't never changing lanes. Wise as an old man, but I ain't slanging cane. This ain't a game, this shit way deeper than rap. You speaking the cap, but the shit y'all speaking is cap. I'm 5,000, but I still keep it a stack. I'm in the truth, not cause back then I was seeking the fact. Cry aloud for the niggas that's deep in the back. And the Lord with me, ain't no reason for keeping the strap. We peep the attacks, niggas say we ain't speaking the facts. Stealing breakdowns every time we teaching in class. Niggas snitching, y'all out here squeaking with rats. We be on the street corners teaching that Jesus is black.
We on 125th Street, Harlem, nigga. You see where we at?
One West, one West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, one West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, one West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, one West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, one West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, one West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga.
Shalom, shalom. Can you hear me, sir?
Hey, Con, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yep. Hold on 1 second. Saying something, I gotta get
Hey, what's going on, Israel? Y'all about Shimmy Al-Shabrak a thumb to all the brothers. Y'all was Shamal a thumb by Shimmy Al-Shad, all the sisters. The water for everybody tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. All right, please, Baba Kasha, share these classes. Share these classes, get this truth out. All right, everybody in the chat, what's going on? Tonica Mills, Zawap, Young Man M, Princess Noir. All right, shalom, everybody. The water for tuning in. All right, what's going on, everyone?
Shalom. Real quick. I talked to Tonica the other day, and she said it's Tanika.
Tanika, Slacky. Tanika Mills.
Yeah, she be having me cracking up, man. So like, my name is Tanika. I say, no, it's not. It's Tonica. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, Israel. We are the ISUPK, started out of Harlem, New York, 125th Street, 1969, under the leadership of Commanding General Yohana.
Right.
And what we do is we go out, we teach our Black family, our so-called Native American family, our so-called Hispanic family, who we are according to these scriptures, right? According to the Bible. That's what we do. If you're not in the ISUPK, not in the truth, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to these classes. Let's get those numbers up. What we got going on? Real quick, we got the Feast of Purim coming up in March the 13th through the 15th. We have the Passover coming up April 12th, so if you ain't paid your Passover dues, please pay them. Get out there, we would love to see you down there if you're Black, Native American, Hispanic. If you're part of the family, you're part of these 12 tribes, you family. And with you being family, hey, we expect to see all our family down there in Atlanta this year for the Passover. What else we got going on here? Couple things real quick. If you want to come down to the classes, Tuesday night, our the man in Detroit, Captain Hadariala, will be teaching the scripture breakdown class. You're welcome to come down here on Monday nights and join us. But Tuesday nights, you're going to, if we can't answer your questions, they're going to get answered in that class. We're not going to tell you something just to get you up out the way. We're not going to tell you something that's false. If we don't have the breakdown, myself or my other one here doesn't have the breakdown for it, we're going to lead you to a man that's greater in these scriptures than we are, that's more advanced, that's more equipped than we are in these scriptures. We're not going to have you out there on a limb. And the reason why I say that, because I remember when I was in the Christian church and I have a question about a scripture and the pastor tell me to pray on it. No, nigga, I'm gonna pray on these women up in here. That's what I'm gonna do. You like to play on words, huh? So but really, pray on it. We're not like that in the ISUPK, right? We're not like that. What we do is, right, like I said, if you're not in the ISUPK, you're not in the truth. We're starting to see that as these other as these fake Hebrew groups started to break apart, right? We started to see that as the Christian church started to break apart, you know, Black man, Native American man, Hispanic man. The Christian church has you worshiping false gods. And how I can prove that the Christian church, I don't even got to pick up the Bible to show you. All I got to do is we're going to walk through the year. Right? We're going to start off at the Christian church worshiping false gods. You know, you get down there on December 31st at about 11:30 at night, and they got you on your knees praying at 1 o'clock in the morning. Talking about that was the bring in service for the new year, right? So if the Christian church follow this Bible, why is the new year in the dead of winter? When according to this Bible that you read, according to the scriptures that they're supposed to study, they according to what they're supposed to study, they are worshiping and following false practices. Because we understand that the new year, according to the Bible, is during the time of Passover, right? That's when when the new year truly is during the time of Passover, right? And then Passover comes around and they got you worshiping bunnies that shit eggs. And, you know, I've never seen a bunny lay an egg. You, sir? Never seen a bunny lay an egg. You know, they got the what's it, the Casberry bunny, the bunny that be sounding like a chicken, and it lay an egg. A damn bunny laying an egg. That's the Christian church are children when it comes to these teaching you the scriptures. They're children. They're not children, they're toddlers. You see a toddler do something that's deadly unto themselves. They'll go stick a pin in a socket or something like that. Take a chance, you know, not knowing. And that's how you learn it. You learn it from people that it's better for you to. No, I'm not gonna say that. You learn it from people that will stick a pin in the socket, you know, spiritually. They're gonna put this bobby pin or you know, hair clip or hairpin or something like that, and they're sticking in the socket, right? You learn it from people that do that. When you learn from these Christian churches, when you learn from these fake Israelite groups, you're learning from people who will harm themselves. And the reason why I say that, because look up the things they worship, right? And in the middle, in the dead of winter, they'll put a tree up decorated with silver and gold, and then fall on their knees and worship it, and put sacrifices up under it, and tell you they're not sacrificing or they're not worshiping this tree. Well, if I look through your window, that's what it looked like to me, right? If I look through your window, that's what it looked like to me. Then Halloween, and they'll dress up like ghosts and goblins, tell their kids all year round, never talk to strangers, don't take candy from strangers, and then send their kid to a strange house to ask for candy, right? What was it, story? Remember the little story? It's like a nursery rhyme, Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel did that, and that witch was about to eat their ass up too. You remember that? Hansel and Gretel. You sending your kids Hansel and Gretel. You remember that, don't you?
I've heard of Hansel and Gretel. I don't know the story.
Right. Then black folk, you'll get out there on what's that day? July 4th, and celebrate the white man's independence from his oppressor, from Great Britain, right? You'll celebrate that, the Independence Day, make movies about it, put Will Smith in it, right? You'll celebrate Independence Day when you was on the plantation. You were on the plantation, getting your back beat, being buck broken, being, assaulted by your oppressor. You were getting assaulted by your oppressor on the plantation, July 4th, 1776. That's what was going on with you, getting your back beat. And there's a plethora of other false gods and holidays and stuff like that, and that you follow, that you tend to unknowingly. Well, I'm not going to say unknowingly, because you follow. I had a woman tell me that you know, she's a devout Christian. And she told me that she do it for the kids. I say, well, the kids would have never learned it if you never did it. So when you do these pagan holidays, you know, you telling me you love your kids more than you love God? When you celebrate these pagan holidays, you love these individuals more than you love your oppressor, more than you love your God, love your power, right? Right. Sir, I want to bring a scripture real quick, and this scripture is going to play into what we got going on for the class tonight. This is Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4. And it reads, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one." Right? Verse 5. "And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might." Right? So, and with everything in you, you're supposed to love your God, your power. But you showing your God, your power, that you don't love your God, your power. What you love is Christmas, right? What you love is Easter. What you love is what's that? New Year's, right? When they're dropping the ball, that's what you love. You love the customs and the ways of this world. You don't love the customs and the ways of your God, your power, right? And these are the same things our people did when they were in Egypt. It was the same thing our people did when they were in Egypt, right? They loved the gods of Egypt. Sir?
God, you know, it's like if you could grab a verse from me.
I got you. Where you want me?
It's in it says the beginning of evil, or the root of all evil is worshiping
the love of money. You want the for the love of money scripture?
No, I'm gonna get it for you. Beginning of evil, worship of idols. I'm gonna pull it for you. 1 sec. Could you grab Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 27?
Oh yeah, you want to keep it gangster. You want to keep it gangster. We're gonna bust it down for you. The Wisdom of Solomon. We're gonna jump into the Apocrypha. 14 and 7.
14 and verse 27.
14 and verse 27. You know what I love about the Apocrypha. You know, not to say that I don't love all the scriptures, but in the Apocrypha, you'll read about our people so willing to serve their power that they didn't care if they died. They didn't care if they passed away. They didn't care if they were tortured, you know, martyred, whatever happened. They didn't care. They didn't care about any of those things because they wanted to serve their God. They would not do things that was against their God, right? Because they knew what the punishment was for them to not serve their God. They knew they will fall into enslavement. Look at us now, right? We so enslaved and indoctrinated by America that we don't even understand that you got folk right now talking about I ain't no slave. Okay. The easiest way to prove that you ain't no slave is you go ahead and leave the country that you are citizen to. Just go ahead and leave it. When I say leave it with no identification, no documentation, nothing, right? Understand is that the slaves had to have documentation in order to go down the street, right? Slaves had to have documentation to go from plantation to another plantation. To walk in the forest, they had to have documentation, right? What's the first thing that your oppressor asks you when he stopped you with them red and blue lights on? For your documentation.
Right.
He asks you for your documentation immediately, right? You're a slave. So I got it. You said Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 27.
Con.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, right? Chapter 14 and verse 27. For the worship of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
Yeah, you know, this probably one of my favorite verses in the entire Bible. You know what I mean? Because, you know, the Lord is telling you where all evil comes from. And, you know, many people think that, you know, they'll go around and say Satan worshipers are evil. They'll say that, you know, men who prey on little girls are evil. And, you know, whatever things they come up with, they say that a demon is controlling me to do X, Y, and Z. Not understanding that the Lord is saying who you worship and where you put your faith in. If it's anything outside the Most High, that is the root of all evil. You know what I mean? Like, you might not understand this, but the Lord is saying right here, like, you worship Easter, you're bringing evil into this earth. You worship Christmas, you worship the so-called white man and his kingdom, his empire. You worship America, you worship Egyptology. You worship the stars and what do they call the stars and the planets and all that?
Either astrology. or
yeah, you worship astrology, and you know what I mean. You think you're gonna pick your partner based off of what sign you are
when they was born.
You know what I mean? You're a Scorpio. I don't even know all the names of all of them.
No, nothing about them. But the nigga was born September 8th or some shit.
And that's how you're gonna pick your husband. Yeah, I mean, this dude's out here selling all the drugs in the world. He's been beating on every woman he's ever had his whole life, but because he's a Virgo, you got to
every woman he done had. Swole up, right? Fist swole up. And you decide just because he a Cancer, I'm gonna marry him. You idiot. What's that guy worship?
Read that again for me, other one.
Was it Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14 and verse 27? For the worshiping of idols, not to be named, is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
Yeah, like Christianity is the root of all evil.
Not to be named.
Islam is the root of all evil.
Not to be named.
I mean, but when you brought up Abu in Deuteronomy to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, is because this is the greatest commandment. You know what I mean? To put the Most High first. And Christ said that, you know, that the laws hinge on these two laws: to love the Lord thy God with all thy might, and to love your brother as thyself. And he said the second is like unto it, meaning loving your brother as yourself is the exact same thing as putting the Most High first.
Damn right.
Because you put the Most High first, you're not going to steal from your brother.
Yep.
Put the Most High first, you're not going to sleep with another brother's wife. You're not going to sell drugs to his children. You're not going to turn your daughter into a whore or your sister into a whore. You love the Lord thy God, you're going to do what it is he says. You're not going to listen to what the Christian church says. You're not going to listen to what I'm a Hotep from Egypt says to do. You know what I mean? They got, man, the Cap Tazaric has absolutely destroyed
yes,
you know, all the gods of Egypt.
And what's so heavy about that, sir? Slacky.
Go ahead. Yeah.
What's so heavy about Cap destroying the conscious community, right? Remember Cap told Polite, you like your father. And where Polite at now? In prison like his father.
Root of all evil.
I'm talking about prophet. Cap is a prophet. And he told him, you're just like your father. And you end up just like your father. Just like your spiritual father is in jail for you know, dealing with unauthorized dealings with children, right? he followed in his footsteps. Polite followed in his footsteps, right? And Cap destroyed the conscious community to, it's you can't even do anything but laugh every time somebody bring up some Kemet stuff. And then when he brought up the picture of the dude having a rod to his face, right? And when the Cap brought that up and asked him, like, do you follow this?
Man.
Do you follow this? Like, Shaka Utmost was all gone after that. Man, do you follow this? That right there, and that right there, they crumbled. When you hit him with that gut shot and they fold over. But we're starting to see that with all this false worship, all the idol worship. We are seeing that. Another thing is rumored that I got to look into it, sir. But it's rumored that the head of the Catholic Church, what they call him, the Cardinal.
Oh, the Pope.
The Pope.
Yeah.
Right. So either the Pope or one of the head cardinals. It was somebody's up there high ranking, right? They're in the hospital now because they said some demons was trying to get him and drag him into a portal into hell.
Yeah, dang.
I'm like, but you supposed to be like the holiest person on the planet. How could you get drugged to hell? Because he's not.
So like somebody probably told him that they're gonna take all his money and put him in the ghetto.
That's probably what they.
He said, hell no.
Like, we got you. Take all your money. We're gonna put you around some niggas that smoke crack.
He said, hell no. Shoot, I'm gonna play this.
It's just amazing that was and I heard someone say this today, like black people are talking about the white man does this to harm them and the white man does that to harm them, but they're harming themselves and they're harming each other. And instead of me going over there and interfering with their conversation and just telling them to shut up because they don't know what the hell they're talking about, I walked away, and I think I did them a dishonor. I should have broke it down to them and explained to them, like, because this belief that we are destroying ourselves is what they want you to believe, right? You got to understand this. If we had the resources that just imagine if the ISUPK had the resources that the Catholic Church has, how much better our people would be. If Commander General Yohana had the resources that the Pope has, how much better our people would be. Where would we be? Just, it sounds like heaven. Where would we be if Commander General Yohana had the resources that the Pope has, right? As a whole. Right, understand that we could come up with a solution for an issue, and it will be resolved by the morning. It would be resolved by the morning. Like, name some of the issues that we have in our communities. Name some of the issues that we have in our communities. One of the issues is, everybody's going to say poverty, but just look at the causes behind them. Like, you got poor public school structure, right? It's to the point where kids can't take books home from school, so no toilet tissue in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? The heat doesn't work in the facility, right? Well, I'm gonna tell you like this here. I'm sitting in I'm sitting in the school in Detroit, ISUPK school in Detroit. The lights is on, the gas is on, the water run, and there's tissue in the bathroom. Right? That's what Commander General Yohana does. Right? The same issues that you have outside under the oppressor, when these schools are set up, we don't have those because we take care of ourselves. And we do this without government funding. You can't call the oppressor the death the Bible speaks of and get some funding from the government. You can't call the devil and get funding from the devil. Right? The Bible says the house that, excuse me, it says a house that's divided, and I'm paraphrasing, it can't stand. A house that's divided cannot stand, right? With the house being divided, that means that in order for us to get funding from the devil, we have to be on his team. He only give his team members funding, right? He only give his team members funding. So when you start to see that certain institutions are receiving government funding, understand that they're on the same team as your oppressor, right? And just to to make some things simple, what did Donald Trump say the other day? He's trying to cut the funding in any facility, right? School facility that teaches critical race theories. And I'm paraphrasing, right? So if you teach, race-based philosophies or critical race theory, or if you teach that the oppressor was the devil during slavery or whenever, and he wickedly abused the children of Israel. As soon as you start to teach that, you lose your funding. So what you got to understand is that means you can't teach the things that went on during Jim Crow. You can't teach, we're still seeing brothers in Mississippi, truck drivers. They just had a truck driver come up hanging from a tree. Right now, when our people will unalive themselves, it's a psychological issue. It's a demon, right? It's the same demon, similar demon that you see with Judas when he, tied himself to a tree. And so you see that same spirit attacking our brothers and sisters nowadays. But since, slavery and Jim Crow, one thing you won't see us do is tie something around our neck and tie it to some type of fixture and jump. We don't do that. No. Mm-mm. You'll take some pills, you'll use a firearm, or, put a knife to veins and arteries and stuff like that, right? But we just seen a sister in the city of Detroit a couple months ago. She plummeted from like the 12th floor of a building, and the fire department was there, and the authorities was there trying to talk her down, and they were unsuccessful, right? But she didn't tie that rope to nothing. She didn't tie that rope to nothing and unalive herself that way. Well, man, that's touchy. But understand is that we are in this situation, right? Those things happen in our community because we are not, and we have not been following our God, our power, right? You want me to bring up one of these articles you sent me, sir?
Yeah, let's get Flavius Josephus, and we were also going through this in the Sabbath service class, and we've just been reading through the book of Exodus on how the Lord was destroying the Egyptians, and the ways in which he destroyed them. He was specifically destroying the gods of Egypt. If you could grab Exodus chapter 12, verse 12 for me, because this is exactly what needs to happen, and this is always what the Lord does. When you start to worship or put your power in things outside of the Lord. Like, I remember when I thought it was funny during COVID when the East Indians were throwing their gods in the river.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean,
that wasn't funny. That was hilarious.
That shit was hilarious. Like,
I ain't working.
Like they straight up saying "F you." Like what the hell have we been doing? You got millions of people dying of COVID or being unalived of COVID, and the things that we believe in do absolutely nothing for us.
You know what was funnier than them throwing their guys in the water? Is they was taking cow dung baths. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
I'm about to see that. They take cow dung baths. You know, like that's like saying holy shit. Like oh shit.
Right. That one might get us banned, Salaki Abo. Good night.
It's hilarious what these other nations do in worship of their God. We don't have to do you don't got to take a cow shit bath to worship your God. You got other nations that let horses pee on them. Right? You don't have to take a horse piss shower. You don't have to take it, I don't know if it's warm. I don't want to know. Right? But you don't have to take a horse piss shower to worship your God, right? What's some of the other stupid, silly things that these other nations do when worshiping their gods? The Muslims kiss that rock. They what is it? They walk around this rock and they kiss it and they kill each other. Salakia, they unalive each other because they trample on they step on each other as they're going around the rock. Right, so they step on each other and they fall over each other. They fall down, and some people get trampled to the point that they're no longer alive. And they do this every year.
Yeah, like like just imagine that you in your mind you're about to go worship your God, and in your mind you're about to travel across the earth to get to Mecca or wherever it is. To walk around a stone where people are going to be unalived just from trampling over top of each other. There's so many damn people walking around this stone, and you believe in your mind this is a good idea. You believe in your mind this is something that you got to do.
So your God not only wants you to walk around this rock, he wants you to trample your fellow worshipers if they fall. You don't think that you fall, somebody help you up, right? That's brotherhood. Your brother fall, you help them up. They don't even have the brotherhood to help one of their brothers up while they walking around this rock. It's so important for them to walk around a rock. Did you ever hear of a death circle? It's something ants do when they lose their direction, and you will see hundreds of ants and they'll just be walking around in a circle, right? They'll just be walking around in a circle, and they do that until they starve to death.
Dang.
Ants. This is what ants do. Ants will walk around this circle, and they'll trample each other to their unalive, and it's called a death circle, right? So that's the same thing you get humans doing in Mecca. Just walking around in a circle, unaliving each other as they take steps, right? So
it's no different when like if you serve weed, you out here smoking weed every day. I think a story just came up. It was last week I was reading it. Some 15-year-old boy shot or unalived both his parents because of what do they call it? A weed and dose psychosis. What I mean? Like you sitting here smoking cigarettes every day, you're dying of cancer because you put your faith in these things. You know what I mean? Like we out here worshiping everything but the Most High.
It said on the pack, if you smoke me, you'll die of cancer. It says it on the pack. Right on the pack of the cigarettes. It says this may cause cancer. Right? So it may cause cancer. So understand this is that not following these laws, statutes, and commandments will cause death. I'm gonna put it on the pack.
That's right.
It will cause death. And it will cause death. It will cause poverty, annihilation of your land. We've seen it, we've read about it, right? understand it will cause destruction in your community, not following these laws, statutes, and commandments. We got a comment?
Trooper Zawab says, if I may, sir, that's heavy when you spoke about demons. A lot of people tie demons to scary movies and whatnot. But what they don't realize is that demons exist in real life.
Well, smoking that cigarette, that's a demon.
That's a demon.
Right. Anything that has you to destroy yourself is a demon. Right. So when you smoke this cigarette, when you smoke that crack, when you smoke that weed, and it causes you to destroy yourself, those are demons.
That's right.
Why you think it's so? If it wasn't a demon, why you think it's so hard to stop?
Mm-hmm.
How you think? Why you think it's so hard to stop? Because it's a demon. If it wasn't a demon, if it was just you could stop. Think about this. If I want to walk down the street and change my mind, like, you know what? I want to walk this way. I want to go the other way. You just turn around, right? You just turn around. You know why? Because I'm not being attacked by this demon that caused me to walk down the street, right? But take this cig of weed or whatever you call it, smoke it, right? You smoke it. I'm gonna quit. Put it down.
That's right.
Right. Then something happened. Sometimes nothing happens. Oh, I gotta pick it back up. Right. Your nerves get bad. I gotta pick it back up. Oh, I had a tough day. I gotta pick it back up. The kids bother me. I gotta pick it back up. Oh, I'm about to go chill with my girl. Gotta pick it back up. Right. That demon is giving you any reason to pick that whatever it is that's destroying you, to pick you back up.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You see it with alcoholism, another demon, right? Understand that these people put the bottle down, right? And then instead of being able to just drink in moderation, oh, they got to drink till they toe up from the floor up, pass out, to the point where they urinating on themselves and stuff like that, right? But understand is that Christian church, we joke about it and say it's a hell of a drug. It's a demon, right? It's spirits in that Christian church that drag you back to it. Because think about this. You got people, I'll use myself as an example. When I tried to leave the Christian church, when I discovered the teachings of the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, I was coming to class and still going to church. And the questions that I was having here in class, I had already asked the pastor those questions, and you'll get things like, oh, you got to pray on it. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to pray on it. Okay. Talk to the Lord about it. Right. I'm learning to hear that my relationship with the Lord is non-existent. The pastor telling you I got a great relationship with the Lord. Talk to him while I'm in the shower. The Lord don't want to see me naked. Like, talk to him when you're in your secret place. Think about the things that Christianity tell you to do. When I joined the ISGPK and I had those same questions, a brother sat me down like, look, let's answer this for you. Show me scriptures to back it up. Right. When I had problems, when I needed whenever I need counsel, sit you down, show you scriptures to back up what they're telling you. The truth is right here in this ISUPK. Right here. And here is where you get rid of those demons. Here's where you fight those demons, right? Here's where you can put those demons away. Just about every brother here in the Detroit school, I don't know, Shariwan was probably, I think he was born perfect. But besides Shariwan,
yeah, right.
Besides Shariwan, most of the brothers in here had drinking and alcohol and weed problems, cigarette problems and stuff like that, right? And it's not something that you put down in one day, right? It's something that you try to go cold turkey with and you go back to it. That's a demon. That demon like, hey, come hit the, oh, your homeboys is doing it. Oh, little cutie up the street, she doing it. If you go ahead and those demons set you up, like, if you go ahead and roll up this weed, little cutie will come down the street. You're already trying to get at her. Because you got another demon trying to, you trying to go ahead and lay down with her. Right. So now you trying to lay her down with her. And then you got this weed and a drink or whatever it may be, cocaine, whatever it may be that that she is dealing with. She has an addiction for. And guess what? You slide down there with it. Here, have some of this, have some of me. right? But I digress. Let's get into this. Which article you said you want me to bring up? Josephus?
Yeah, let's start in Josephus.
Okay. I know I had it. Was it chapter 14?
Chapter 10.
Chapter 10.
Yeah.
No. Now what we got here is if you want to introduce Josephus, sir, real quick while I look it up, while I find it.
I'm trying to get there too.
I got it. Who is Josephus? You want to answer that, sir? You got that?
Yeah, I'll get that. So Josephus was a historian. Okay, he was a historian who wrote about many different things concerning history, but specifically why we bring up Josephus a lot in the ISUPK is because he has a lot of accounts of dealings with the Jews, dealings with Blacks, Hispanics, and Indigenous, the children of Israel. And a lot of the things that he records and writes coincides with the things that we read about in the Bible. You know, a lot of people don't look at the book as the Bible as a historical book, but there are many different historians in the world, many different artifacts, many different, oral stories, oral traditions, archaeology. There's so many things that align with the biblical text, and Josephus is just one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Josephus, he was a, I don't want to say Greek, I want to say a Roman historian. Josephus, I believe, was a Roman historian, and there's a lot of text, a lot of information on when the Romans first had dealings with the Jews. You read about in around, I think around 100 BC, you start to see Jews being put into slavery under the Roman captivity.
Mm-hmm.
Rome was starting to take over the so-called New World. And as Rome was rising as a nation, one of the things that they would have go with their military and when they were conquering other nations were historians. And the historians would record the different findings they had of when they interacted with new nations or new peoples. And so Josephus was a historian who recorded many things of his interactions with the Jews, with the Israelites. All right. And one of the books he has is called Antiquity of the Jews. And that's just a compiled text of, his dealings with the Israelites. And so that's why we like to reference Josephus a lot.
What's so heavy about it, sir? Slacky.
Come.
What's so heavy about it is that that at one time the Roman nation and authority was so huge that a saying came about that all roads lead to Rome. Right? Rome did so much conquering that it was theorized that basically any roads you take, you're gonna end up in Rome, because their authority and position of power had basically almost grafted the entire earth. So I got that chapter 10.
And just really quick, I want to address one comment. Somebody in the chat says, I'm sorry for being white. And, the Bible says, he who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And so nobody in the ISUPK is asking anybody to be sorry for the color of their skin.
Understand, we're not advocating violence against anybody. Put that out there. We're not trying to get blocked. We're not advocating violence. What we're doing is we're showing what the scripture is saying. It's like
absolutely. And what you know, what we've always said about the so-called white race is that there are many crimes that they have committed, many crimes they commit today to the children of Israel. You have indigenous people in Canada living on reserves who still to this day in 2025 do not have clean drinking water. You understand? And as you know, your nation of people go around the streets, and you know, we used to laugh about this, not laugh about it, but we used to always make a point in Toronto is that, you know, they have these trucks that drive downtown Toronto and water all the plants in the city. And it's like, you can water all the plants in the city, but you can't give clean water to the indigenous people living in Canada. And so there are many crimes that, you know, the so-called white race has committed against blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous. And these are the things that your people should be apologetic for if you had compassion on black, Hispanic, and indigenous people. All right, but yeah, let's get into that Josephus.
When we started the first paragraph.
So yeah, we're gonna read the first paragraph. It actually was chapter 14. You were right. And it starts with where it says, "But when the king despised the words of Moses."
I think I'm on the wrong page. This one's talking about when Sarah died. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is the one I got is talking about when Sarah died. Josephus, Antiquity. I can grab a book real quick. Did you send or if you had an article, can you send it to me, sir?
Yeah, I got it right here. So let me see. I'm pretty sure I sent that to you in text.
Yeah, I think it's the 540 text, but this is the entire book. Hold on, let me see. You said chapter 14, right? Yeah, I got chapter 14. That's according to the table of contents. That's concerning Sarah Abraham's wife and how she ended her days.
So you should be in the one where it says concerning the 10 plagues which came upon the Egyptians.
Okay, I got concerning the death of Abraham, concerning the sons of Isaac.
Yeah, you're almost there. Just jump down a little bit.
Okay, Joseph, Jacob. Concerning the 10 plagues. Okay, yep. Book 2. I was at book 1. Sorry about that. Okay. Book 2, concerning the 10 plagues, right? So we are reading out of the book of Josephus. This is book 2, chapter 14, and it's concerning the 10 plagues which came upon the Egyptians. It says, but when the king despised the words of Moses and had no regard to them, no regards at all to them, grievous plagues seized the Egyptians, every one of which I will describe, both because no such plagues did ever happen to any other nation as the Egyptians now felt, and because I would demonstrate that Moses did not fail in any one thing that he foretold them, and because it is the good of mankind that they may learn this caution, not to do anything that may displease God, lest he be provoked to wrath and avenge their iniquities upon them.
Right. So Josephus is about to tell the story. You understand the story of what happened with the Israelites inside of Egypt. Go ahead.
For the Egyptian river ran bloody water at the command of God, insomuch that it could not be drunk. And they had no other spring of water neither. For the water was not only the color of blood, but it brought upon those that venture to drink it great pain and bitter torment, such and no way different from what is naturally used to be. As the king, Salakia?
Yeah, like, so Josephus is about to go through all the different plagues, that happen in Egypt, right? For young man M, we're reading out of it's called the Book of Antiquities. All right, Josephus, or Slack, it's called Josephus, the Antiquity of the Jews.
It is book 2, chapter 14 in the book of Josephus.
You can, if you don't have the book, you can just go on Google and type in Josephus, Antiquity of the Jews. You can pull up all the writings inside his book and inside his literature, right? And so what he's explaining right here now is inside of Egypt, the Lord turned all their rivers into blood. You understand? Like,
sir,
it's such a hard thing to fathom because, we've never seen it. I remember going camping one time and, or not camping, I was hiking, and near where I was hiking, they have a lot of black bears, and some of the bears they'll have like bear caves right off of the water, right off the lakes. And
so you was doing some what black folk like to call
if I may, just a heads up, I did not know bears were out there when I went there. Because I promise you I would not have taken my black ass out there.
This is right here. Let me speak to the nation of Israel. This is what black people call white people shit.
That's right.
You don't go camping and hiking with bears.
That's right.
With bears, you're gonna have 5-6 brothers out there with drakes, drums. We're not playing with that damn bear. Slakia, sir. I digress.
But to the point of what I was saying, this is the first time I saw something like this. But I guess the bear caves are off the lake, and so bears eat fish. Mm-hmm. And when we got near the lake, it was just pure stone, just pure clear water everywhere. But in certain pools of the lake, it was just pure blood. You just saw red everywhere. And I remember looking at it like I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't understand what I was looking at. So I was asking the man that I'm with, and he's saying, "Oh, that's all the blood from the fish." Because the bears catch the fish and, they're just eating the fish. They throw it on the lake or whatever, or the lake shore, and there's just pools of blood all in the water. And so in my mind, I only have a small sense of imagine seeing an entire river just of pure blood.
That runs miles.
Miles.
So from the beginning of the river to the end of the river was blood, right? And you got to understand this is that the scriptures say that the river was turned into blood, right? Mm-hmm. So with the river, this wasn't water no more. This was blood. It wasn't blood mixed with water. You understand when you cut yourself or something like that, how you can rinse the blood off and you'll have a cut, and when you're rinsing the blood off, you have a water and blood mixture. So it'll lighten up the water, the color of the blood that's being rinsed off with the water. According to this, the river turned into the scriptures, the river turned into blood. Right. So you had a river of blood flowing through Egypt. Want me to continue, sir?
Yeah.
All right. It says where was I at? It said the Egyptians river ran with bloody water at the command of God, insomuch that it could not be drunk, and they had no other spring of water neither. For the water was not only of the color of blood, but it brought upon those that ventured to it to drink it the pain and bitter torment. Such no way different. Such was the river to the Egyptians, but it was sweet and fit for the drinking to the Hebrew. So that's how you can tell this is the Most High acting. Understand is that they were drinking from the same water. It wasn't like the Hebrew was getting this water from somewhere else, right? And no way different from what is naturally to be used, right? And the scripture doesn't say this, but I wonder if the Hebrews, it looked like regular water to them, but to the Egyptians, it was blood, right? So as the king, therefore, am I in the right spot? Great pain to the Egyptians. It said, okay, yeah, it says, as the king therefore knew not what to do in these surprising circumstances and was in fear of the Egyptians, he gave the Hebrews leave to go. But when the plague ceased, he changed his mind again and would not suffer them to go. So when the plague hit, understand when the plague hit, Moses had been speaking to Pharaoh, right? So when Moses speaking to Pharaoh, was like, hey, let my people go. This plague hit, Pharaoh let them go. Then once the plague stopped, think about it. Once the Most High got what he wanted, he backed the plague off. Right? The Most High backed the plague off. But Pharaoh seen that the plague had backed off, similar to what we seen in COVID. When we seen COVID, understand there's some brothers that was making more money during COVID with unemployment and whatever else that was going on that they were making at their jobs. They were making going to this 9 to 5. So of course, why not stay at home and just, not have to be concerned about a slavery. You got the money coming in. I know a few brothers that built LLCs and businesses off of what they received during off the government subsidies during COVID, right? So, but look at this. And then the who was president at the time? Trump, right? Understand that brothers didn't have to go to work. What was the student loans, stuff like that. You didn't have to pay that. Certain bills, you couldn't get evicted. Think about all these things that was going on during COVID. And as soon as COVID was so-called over, guess what? Take your ass back to work, pay these student loans, catch up on your rent, and those type of things came about. So imagine that happening, right? So as soon as the blood cleared up out the water, Pharaoh was like, put their ass back to work.
God. And imagine this time too for the Egyptians and the children of Israel, because they're seeing the river being turned to blood. They're seeing that when they go to drink it, it said that, what did it say? It had bitter torment to the Egyptians when they drank it.
Hold on, let me get it. It says it said those that ventured to drink it, great pain and bitter torment.
Now they're having great pain and bitter torment. Meanwhile, they're worshiping this god called Happy. The Egyptians had this god called Happy, which was the god of the Nile River.
Khan.
You understand? That's no different today, where you might put your faith in, what do they call it? German engineering. You know what I mean? You put your faith in the people building the airplanes for you. and you believe in engineering. What do atheists always say? I don't believe in God. I believe in science.
Science. Yeah. Kind of.
You worship science. Meanwhile, you got planes falling out the damn sky.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
You know, speaking of engineering, I'm just saying this is that the German built machine is supposed to be like one of the best machines on, you know, if you got a German built machine, a German built vehicle, whatever, they're supposed to be the best machines, the best builders, the best engineers, you know, so it's supposed to be the best, right. The best of the best. Even German weapons, they were so accurate and precise. They were made with precision and quality. But what people seem to forget is that Germany, with the war with Russia, and those German tanks and those German machine guns and those German pistols failed the Germans when the Germans proceeded into take over Russia, because the area was so muddy and nasty and dirty that the Germans make their machinery with such precision and tight tolerances that when that mud and that gunk and that dirt got in there, it was useless. So the AK-47, which was the Russians' weapon of choice, right? Think about it. You could drop it in the mud, pick it up, and it'll still fire, right? They end up winning. The Russians end up, you know, pushing the Germans out of their area because they had tanks that could travel through this mud because they were just slapped together. The Russian tanks were assumed to be just put together. The Russian weapons were just assumed to be just thrown together. But those, with them not being so precise, is what allowed them to win the war between the Russian and the Germans. God. So that's nuts because precision, right? The precision didn't help the Germans in their when they tried to accost Russia. Right. They tried to attack Russia. It didn't help them. God. We make the best weapons. Okay, cool. The worst weapons is going to win. Right. This non-precise AK-47 is not accurate at all. God. It's one of the least accurate rifles, but it was, you know, what did Samuel Jackson say? He said the AK-47. You know what? I'm not going to even, the last time I quoted Samuel Jackson, they kicked us off Facebook. So I'm not quoting no more. God. Can't get us blocked.
Yeah, for some reason. Like exactly what you just broke down is exactly what the Egyptians were experiencing. Mm-hmm. Right. I'm gonna read this really, really quick. This is from a website called The Old World Gods. Uh-huh. And it says ancient Egypt, one of the world's oldest civilizations, thrived along the banks of the Nile River. Known for its remarkable achievements in art, architecture, and culture, Egypt captivates historians and enthusiasts to this day. The Nile River, sustaining life in the region, played a pivotal role in shaping Egyptian civilization. The fertile lands created by the annual floods of the Nile offered abundant resources for agriculture and economic prosperity. It says, Hapi emerged as a central figure in Egyptian mythology, personifying the annual flood and fertility. This divine entity was venerable throughout Egypt, particularly revered in places like Aswan and Gebel el Silsila. Okay, so, you know, this, like the Egyptians had so much faith in their river. They had so much faith in their land. They had so much faith in their gods. And the Lord destroyed it.
Yes. Easily. Like the Lord destroyed Egypt without a nuke, without any pistols, bow arrows, swords. When the Lord similar to the Lord didn't drop rain missiles on Sodom and Gomorrah, right? It didn't. Brimstone, sulfur. That's what it's sulfur fell from the sky a natural resource. The Lord is destroying. The Lord will destroy you with a natural resource, right? And if all these plagues, if you look at these plagues were natural resources.
That's right.
Right? From the, if you look at the plague of the water turning into blood, the locusts, the other plague, what's another one? The frogs, the hemorrhoids. These these are natural. These are natural. Even the plague of the firstborn, the firstborn passing away, it was natural. It wasn't okay, we're going to poison this or poison that. No, that's not what happened. It was all natural resources. So the COVID, another plague, natural resource, natural. It's just in nature. You are being destroyed by the air you breathe. So when we go to paragraph 2.
Yeah, let's keep going.
All right, paragraph 2. Sir, this might be something we may have to continue this next week. I don't think we're going to get through this. All right, paragraph 2 says, but when God saw that he was ungrateful, so it's talking about Pharaoh. When God saw that Pharaoh was ungrateful, and upon the ceasing of this calamity would not grow wiser, he sent another plague upon Egypt, an innumerable multitude of frogs. The frogs are natural, right? Consumed the fruit of the ground. The river was also full of them, insomuch that who drew water had it spoiled by the blood of these animals as they died in it and were destroyed by the water.
No. They had so many damn frogs in Egypt. These frogs are dying in the river and just turning the river into blood. There's so many damn frogs. Like when you read it in, I believe it's in Exodus, like our record says that you had frogs, coming out the pantry, coming out the houses. You know what I mean? You woke up out of bed, you got frogs all over you, frogs all over your room. You know what I mean? Like maybe some of us got, when you open those drawers in the kitchen, you got 100 roaches that just come running out. You know what I mean? The Lord put frogs everywhere in Egypt. You know what I mean? Everywhere. And
you had frogs in the middle of the street. So the streets was probably slippery, from decomposing frogs. You had think about this. You go to open your pantry, you go get some whatever out your pantry, and there's frogs in there. Right. Now, let me explain this to our, not really, I don't really know too many black people that still have roaches, but I've heard of some of them other folk, them other nations that still got some roaches.
Yeah, them East Indians.
They keep roaches. It's like that's their buddies.
God.
So, but understands that the frogs was like roaches, like you said, sir. The frogs was like roaches, and they're in every crevice, every cabinet. And think about this, and then it's hundreds of species of frogs, right? This doesn't say what type of frog it was, because some frogs are poisonous to the touch. Right? There's certain animals that prey on the frogs, that eat the frog, and it'll pass away from eating the frog. Right? So where were we? It says that an innumerable multitude. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, and if I may too, I remember I was living in Florida for a bit, and they got some massive ass bullfrogs down there. You know what I mean? And some people up here might be thinking, you might be thinking a frog is a little small, like 2-3 inch little insect.
Got a damn 10-pound bullfrog.
Yeah, some of them bullfrogs out there, those are massive. You know what I mean? And I can only picture, you're down in Africa. You know what I mean? Lord knows you probably got some, 2-foot long bullfrog up around your car. You know what I mean? Just everywhere.
You in Africa, they better drop them bullfrogs off there where them damn malaria carrying mosquitoes are.
And you know, something again so heavy about this is the Egyptians had a god that they portrayed just like a frog.
Let's get into it.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll read this real quick. This is they had an Egyptian goddess called Heket, right? It was a let me see. Heket, I'll read this. It says Egyptian goddess Heket played a prominent role in ancient Egypt mythology and religious practices as a deity associated with fertility and birth. She was believed to be instrumental in the Renaissance of Osiris and even played a part in the mummification process.
Every time I hear the word Osiris, all I can think of is Wu-Tang Clan. Osiris is until Cap brought up, started destroying Egyptology and Kemet. Now it's like whenever I hear those Kemet and Egyptology beliefs or deities, when I start to hear that, all I can hear is Cap voice going off on one of them guys. And it's hilarious. He just proved that their belief is vain, is vanity, it's still nothing. Slocky. So
let's keep getting it in the antiquities.
Okay, cool. So it says an innumerable amount of frogs consumed the fruit of the ground. The river also was full of them, insomuch that those who drew water had it spoiled by the blood of these animals as slime. And they were born and they died, and they were spoiled in their vessels in the house which they use, and they were found among what they eat, and what they drink, and came in great numbers upon their beds. Like these frogs sound like they're hitting up like bed bugs. There was also a ungrateful smell, and a stink arose from them as they were born, and they died therein. Now, when the Egyptians were under the oppression of these miseries, the king ordered Moses to take the Hebrews with him and be gone.
God, if I may, like the Lord sitting there mocking your God. You know what I mean? Like you put your faith in this God of fertility. You got it drawn up as a frog. Yeah, I mean, they probably got some massive statue out in Egypt of this frog-looking deity. And you're sitting here drinking water that's killing you.
Frog blood.
It's destroying you. You're drinking frog blood. It's getting you sick. You know what I mean? You got millions of people in Egypt dying over this thing that you worship, that you put your faith in.
Imagine the Lord. So see, right now the Lord is mocking Egypt with their gods, right? And what Adawan has brought out is that the things that they believed in, the gods that they followed, the Lord is using these. He's saying, call on this God now. You got 1 million frogs. Call on your frog God, right? You worship Happy, the water. Tell them to get the blood out the water. That's like, think about this. You know, we always, comment, say that the Lord likes to floss, right? Imagine you have an authority, right? Just imagine you sitting in your house, you protecting your family from entities outside your family, outside the household, and you got your weapon of protection, right? And you take your weapon of protection and you're trying to protect your family, but this weapon that you're using attacks you, right? This weapon that you're using attacks you. It climb out your arms and it start attacking you. and your family. This is what the Lord is doing. He's their gods that they use to protect them, their gods that they use to summon this and that. He's using their gods to attack and destroy the Egyptians.
Wow.
Right? It says, upon which the whole multitude of the frogs vanished, and both the land and the river to the former. So the river went and the land went back to the former. I say, but soon as Pharaoh saw that the land free from this plague, he forgot the cause of it and retained the Hebrews, and as though he had a mind to try Slakia. He had a mind to try nature of more such judgments. He would not yet suffer Moses and his people to depart, having granted the liberty rather out of fear than out of any good consideration.
God, and you know, just something to note. Again, this is the records from Flavius Josephus. Like when we read the Bible, we know that the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? The Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and it was for the Egyptians, you understand, to see the power that was with the children of Israel. It was for the Israelites to see, you know, what God that they served, the power of their God. It was for the world to know about the story of how the Most High delivered the children of Israel and showed his power, you know what I mean, the power that he had through them. You know what I mean? And so this is the reason Pharaoh's heart was being hardened.
And understand, Israel, that the heart is not what's in your chest pumping and beating. The heart is your mind. This is your, you know, up here. This is the heart, right? And understand is that when the scripture says that the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, right? So it made his mind hard against the Hebrews, the Israelites. But here, was Josephus is saying that Pharaoh just forgot why the plagues was hitting him.
God.
So, you know, Josephus is putting it in unbelieving man's terms, and but we understand as you know, here in the ISUBK, we understand that the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, his mind, against the Israelites.
God.
Want to hit paragraph 3?
Yep, let's keep going.
God, let's go. According to God's punishment, his falseness with other plagues added to the former. For there arose out of the body of the Egyptians an innumerable quantity of lice by bed bugs, the lice, by which wicked as they were, they miserably perished, as not able to destroy this sort of vermin either with washes or with ointments. At the time, at which terrible judgment the king of Egypt was in disorder, upon the fear unto which he reasoned himself, lest his people should be destroyed, and that the manner of his death was also reproachful, so that he forced in part. You got to understand, sir. This passage, the lettering is so small, right? I'm glad I got good eyesight.
It
says, upon the fear in which he reasoned himself, lest his people should be destroyed, and that the manner of the death was so reproachful, so that he was forced in part to recover himself from his wicked temper to a sounder mind, from he gave leave to the Hebrews themselves to depart.
God, so he had You had the whole damn country just scratching and itching themselves. Yeah, I mean, just scratching their armpits, scratching their hair, scratching every body part because there's just this massive infestation of lice.
Now, I've never had lice before. I can only imagine, what. Well, I don't even want to imagine what these lice are doing. You know what I'm saying? But we do have some people that tend to have lice outbreaks in their school systems. Especially when you get a bunch of the children and stuff like that together. So the oppressor, their people know how to deal with lice, right? They know how to deal with lice well. You got somebody that could comment. So lice, I can only compare it to maybe bed bugs or something like that. You'll see these videos where I got a buddy of mine that's an exterminator, and he would bring these videos of areas that he go to exterminate or homes that he go to exterminate, and man, you'll see the bed bugs, and I'm talking about the damn bed bugs be the size of grape seeds, and things be huge, and they be everywhere. It'd be like an infestation. So I can only imagine that Egypt had this infestation of these little lice, right? Lice. I don't know the difference between ticks and lice, if there is a difference, but imagine when the Lord brought these plagues in, right? He brought it in as a flood. So now you got to understand the plague of the frogs is gone, right? So the blood and the water gone. The plague of the frogs gone. Now it's lice. So you got these little small, small beings chewing Egypt up, eating Egypt alive. But what you have to understand is that, think about it. When the blood came through the river, the Hebrews was able to drink the water.
That's right.
Right. So these plagues that we're seeing destroy Egypt, right? The Lord has his people in his hand, and these plagues are not eating the Hebrews up alive, right? The lice not eating the Hebrews. The frog's not found in the Hebrew water, right? But understand, they're drinking from the same water. They're living in the same area. So this is how you know this is the Most High God, because these plagues are affecting Egypt, to tormenting Egypt, to So what Pharaoh said, he was like, it's to death. Right here, according to Josephus, Pharaoh said, he had to let the Egyptians go because he didn't want his people to die of a very reproachful death. According to Josephus in this passage. I don't, we have to let that be known, because Facebook and YouTube likes to get rid of us. Right? So it says, let's see where we were at. Was that 4 we were at? Yeah.
We're on 3.
3, in the middle of 3. It said, God to more revolt. Okay. It said, whereby he provoked God to be, nope, got to go up farther. It says, let's go. It says, at which the terrible judgments of the king of Egypt was in disorder, and upon the fear in which he reasoned himself lest his people should be destroyed, and the manner of death was also reproachful, so that he was forced to recover himself from his wicked temper to a sounder mind, for he gave leave for the Hebrews themselves to depart. But when a plague thereon ceased, he thought it's proper to require that they should leave the children and the wives behind, and as pledge of their return, right? So he asked them to leave their wives and their children behind so that they'll return, whereby he provoked God to be more angry at him, as if he thought to impose on his providence, and as if it were only Moses. So Pharaoh didn't think that this was the Most High God doing this. He thought it was Moses doing this, and not God, whom punished the Egyptians for the sake of the Hebrews. For he filled the country full of various sorts of pestilence creatures with their various properties, such indeed as they never come into the sight of men before, by whose means the men perished themselves, and the land was destitute of husbandry and its cultivation. But
if I may, so the Lord is sending all these things again, destroying the land of Egypt right now. I mean, like all their cultivation. I mean, their crops is all being destroyed. And what do the Egyptians have? One of the famous gods of Egypt was Geb. You understand it? You probably heard Cap Tazariak a million times. I mean, speak about the foul gods of Egypt.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? All the disgusting things that the people believe in, and these are again, Egyptology is a way of life almost that some of our people are taking on today. You see our people walking around with that, what's it called, an ankh or an unk or something like that around their neck.
I got a story about the ankh.
Man, that Zabadi, shout out to Zabadi in Toronto. Every time he sees somebody with that on their neck, it's a brother, he always asks them, why are you walking around with walking around with a dick on your chest? You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh man, you understand it's a representation of a male and a female body part, and it's like you just look what's the word? You just look alternative as hell or sweet as hell.
It's alternative. He said, "Hey, it was funny. Superman had an S on his chest, and he had no."
Oh man!
I seen. I was in the gym the other day, and I seen one of the oppressor's son with an unk on, and I damn near fell off the weight bench laughing so hard. Yeah, the unk on. I'm like, wow. I didn't know you guys walked around here with those. Right. So it says that, but if anything escaped the destruction of them, it was killed by the distemper which the men underwent. Right. So that was the plague of the lice. Right. So if you move down, when we go into paragraph 4, sir, are you?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay. It says, but when Pharaoh did not even then yield the will of God, while he gave leave to the husbands to take their wives with them, yet insisted that the children should be left behind. Now, what does that remind you of right now? What's going on right now? How these children are being taken captive by ICE. I almost said ISIS. I don't know where I got ISIS from. By ICE. Think about it. The ICE was going to the kids' school, taking them out to school in order for the parents to come down there. And even though the children were American citizens, their parents were not. And ICE was taking the parents into, I like to call it a concentration camp, but it was taking them to jail and kept taking them to captivity. So Pharaoh is, that when our people, somebody take our kids, we going down there to get them back. We're going right to get them back, right? So, what's his name? Trump was having and reason why I say Trump, because it is under his authority right here in America. So he got ICE. He doesn't want to talk about build a wall. He got ICE going into these schools, taking these kids, right? So that the parents will come and we can deport, the America can deport the parents, right? So this is what Pharaoh got going on. Pharaoh is keeping the kids, holding the kids hostage, because he know that, Moses wanted to go out into the wilderness and worship our God. He know that if the children of Israel go out into the wilderness, it's a chance they may not come back. So in order to have them come back, Pharaoh is saying, hey, y'all can go, but leave your kids, right? That's just like taking kids captive. So he took the kids captive and told the parents, all right, this is going to cause you to come back. Right? So it says, yet insisted that the children should be left behind. God presently resolved to punish his wickedness with several sorts of calamity, and those worse than the foregoing, which ye had so generally afflicted them. From their bodies were terrible boils, breaking forth with blains, while they were already inwardly consumed, and a great part of the Egyptians perished and sent down in this manner.
God, so there's another god they had, Hotep. Let me see. I'll pull that up real quick.
Want me to continue while you're looking for it, sir?
Oh, I got it right here.
Come on.
I got this website shared. this is, the Egyptians had another god called Imhotep. You understand? They have this god, which was their god of medicine. You understand? And this is what they put their faith in to keep them healthy. You know what I mean? They're sitting here getting boils, you know what I mean, being destroyed of all these different illnesses and sicknesses and plagues. And the Lord is showing them that your gods have absolutely no power. You understand? It's the exact same thing that we do here today in America, where we put our faith in things outside of the Most High. Like one of the things Christ said is, the love of money is the root of all evil. You know what I mean? And a lot of people during things like COVID, their businesses that they put their heart and their life in over 15 years was destroyed just destroyed in the blink of an eye.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? You put your faith in money above the Most High, the Lord is going to take it all away. You know what I mean? The Lord has shown this again and again and again. This is why we say it's so important if you're Black, Hispanic, or Indigenous to get in the ISUPK and learn to serve your God.
Damn right.
Because there is no power greater than the Most High. You understand? And the evidence of him being a living God is the things that he does on earth. The punishments that he puts on us, all the promises he's made to bless or curse us, we see play out on this earth. He told us we would be destroyed as a people if we didn't obey him. And look at the condition of us today. So why would we put our faith in money? Why would we make money our God? Why would we make our job the most important thing before the Most High? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? You got a snowstorm that's coming, I think, this week in Canada. How are you getting to work? There's nothing you can do when it comes to the Most High's power.
I think it's supposed to warm up here. I got to check the weather.
Yeah, I was just reading something today. It said that I think we're gonna have a snowstorm. And then after the snowstorm, it's supposed to warm up, and apparently all the snow is gonna melt, and then we're gonna have rain come down, and we're gonna have a bunch of flooding.
So look at this, right? Understand is that we were just speaking about how the Lord uses natural nature, what the world calls nature, to plague the Egyptians. You see that going on today. What was that dam that broke down there in St. Louis? not St. Louis, was it New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina? Yeah. And then they had like some dam break and it flooded the city. And with the dam breaking, it flooded the city. And, you know, people lost their lives, right? You had a hurricane that went through Texas. And then who church? Was that Joe Osteen? Joe Osteen was like, no, them people can't come to my church.
Damn.
Right? Them people can't take refuge up in my church. And then right after that, they found the millions of dollars that he said the church was robbed from in the wall.
Oh, that story sounds familiar. Why did I hear that somewhere?
Yeah, because he said that I don't want these people in the church. He didn't want the people in the church because a hurricane hit, and then people were supposed to take. They wanted people to take refuge in the church because it sat on high ground, right? They wanted people to take refuge in the church because it sat on high ground. And when he said, "I don't want these people in the church," cool. People couldn't come to the church, and I'm thinking maybe a couple weeks later, they find money in the wall. In the bathroom. So the church was supposed to be robbed of a like, I don't know what the figure was, but whatever the figure was they found in the wall was equivalent to what the church was robbed of. So that, you know, he already conning the people, claiming that he a prophet, right? Then he's stealing. Not only is he stealing from the people, he's robbing the. I guess you can't say he's robbing the government because they don't have no taxes, right? So this is undocumented money that he got hid in his bathroom. Man, crook. It says, but when the king was not brought to reason by this plague, hail was sent down from heaven, and so much hail as the climate of Egypt would never suffer before, nor was it like that which falls in climates in wintertime, but was a larger than what falls in the middle of the spring to those that dwell in the northern and northwestern regions. The hail broke down their bowls laden with fruit. After this, a tribe of locusts consumed the seeds which was not hurt by the hail.
Oh, if I may, went back up a little bit. They had another god, which was the goddess Nut. That was the goddess of the sky. You understand? Like, you know what I mean? Some, you know, I've always said this, you know, so many times. The Egyptians had a god for everything. You know what I mean? A god for every day of the week. You know what I mean? Like, they had good crops one year, and they're praying to Geb for another good year. They're thanking Geb for the you know what I mean, for the crops that are coming up the ground.
There was some more of that Gad seed.
You know what I mean? Like, they're so foolish. You know what I mean? So silly that there are people without a God. There are people without understanding on how the world works. You know what I mean? And they have a good, nice, sunny day. You know, they're praying to the sun. You know what I mean? They have nice, clear skies. They're praying to this Egyptian goddess Nut. You understand? And these are the kinds of things that the Lord is telling us that we got to stay away from. You understand? Like, we as a people should be smarter than these other nations. You know what I mean? Like, we shouldn't be looking to a rock, you know what I mean, looking to a river, looking to a waterfall, saying, you know what I mean, praying to this waterfall for all the water that I'm getting. You know what I mean? We should be smart enough to understand that the Lord created all these things, and he's the one that, you know what I mean, we should be worshiping. he's the one that we should be afraid of what he's going to do if we don't obey him. You understand? Like, if we don't obey him, we should expect to be, over in California getting burnt up with those fire tornadoes they got out there.
Damn right.
You understand? These are the things that the Lord is capable of doing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Nature.
Nature.
You keep calling it nature. We say it's the Most High.
God, it's a lot. I remember I started with this book to Kitab about this on Saturday. It's over in Africa right now. I think the continent is straight up just splitting in half. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's like,
look into it. I've ever heard it. I think it was, what was it? Like so long ago, Pangea, where you got the continents had split up. It was rumored, and what was it? Scientists say that, and I say scientists, not the UPK. Scientists say that it was one landmass, and then it started to break up over years and years and years, and that's why you got parts of the coast of the Americas, like South America, match parts of the coast of like Africa.
Okay. Apparently that's happening right now in Africa.
Pangea all over again. Split it.
God. And I think too, yes, I think what scientists are saying is about to happen is that crack that's happened in that landmass is about to fill up with water. I think it's about to split Kenya right in half, something like that.
Them niggas is fast. They can run a long time. Right. You gotta understand is that, you'll see like in like track and field, like in track, you'll see the sisters get out there and to run circles around. But them damn Kenyans, when you get them into that long distance, because they have to run from them lions for a long time. A cheetah don't get, tired too fast. A cheetah can run at 70 miles an hour plus, right? You got speed limits on most highways that ain't 70 miles an hour, right? So them Kenyans, when it come down to that long distance running, they kicking that field ass.
If I may, Abu, if the children of Israel want to take over long distance running, we'll take over.
For sure. Anything that the children of Israel put their hands to. I got a cousin that plays professional hockey.
God.
He is about this complexion. Plays professional hockey, right? So anything that the children of Israel wants to put their hand to, and it's about time that we take over hockey. It's about time. Put some swag to hockey. Them games boring as hell.
Good.
Yeah, you see niggas skate, go, and it's a fight. Come on. I want to see some.
We start making the NHL more money. I don't know what they're thinking.
I want to see some swag to hockey.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't learn it from the Negro leagues.
Yeah, it used to be. I think it was I have to look it up, but I think hockey started by a group of brothers in Canada. It was like black folk in Canada that created hockey or something like that. I could be incorrect. I have to look into it. I don't know. God. Yeah, but that's I would like to see some swag in hockey. I would like to hear some hip hop at the games. You go to a hockey game, it's all country and rock and roll. Now, I can deal with country. I can't deal with rock and roll. Have that heavy metal, I can't do that. There's some rock and roll that I can deal with, but that hard metal, that heavy metal stuff, no, I can't deal with that shit. That's not music. That's just you playing the guitar loud as hell. All right, so let me get to the last little bit for paragraph 4. It says, after this, a tribe of locusts consumed the seeds which was not hurt by the hail, so that the Egyptians, all hopes for the future fruit of the grounds were entirely lost. Right. So everything. So the Egyptians kept their seeds, for the future in these big, we would call them bowls or jar, or whatever it was. So the hail came down. Think about hail is ice. So hail came down bigger than hail that had been seen in the northern areas. Understand, in Egypt, it's mostly warm. They're right there, not too far from they're close to the equator. You got a picture of the well, we don't got to go into it. We don't got to go into it. But Egypt is usually, over in Africa, is usually warm majority of the year compared to over here in North America and Canada. I don't know if, I'm not even sure if Egypt freezes, right? I'm not sure. I have to look it up. But understand that Africa, we know Africa is a warm continent. Africa is a continent, not a country. There are countries inside the continent of Africa. God. Right? I had to clear stuff up because then, you get a troll on there like, hey, it's not a goddamn country. Shut up. So in the continent of Africa is usually warm, and Egypt is on the northern parts of Africa. Right. So it's pretty warm in Egypt. It's consistently warm in Egypt. So with these hail, like, understand, we've seen, golf ball, tennis ball, even basketball size hail in the northern and northeastern countries. So this hail that was falling in Egypt was so big that it destroyed. And think about it, once it hit the ground, it still got to melt. It destroyed the seeds. It said it's bigger than anything it's seen before. So this hail could be the size of it could be the size of whatever, size of a couch, right? Be the size of a couch, and weigh as much as a tire and a rim or something, So it was coming down, destroying everything in Egypt, right? With it destroying everything in Egypt, after it destroyed those things in Egypt, the locusts came in after that, and all the seeds that spit on the ground ate that up, ate it all up. How much time we got left, sir?
We got a couple minutes.
Yep.
About 2 minutes left.
Yep. So it ate it all up. So you want to get into 5 next week?
Yeah, we can get into it next week.
Right. Unless you want to mention the God responsible. I was gonna say the God responsible. The God Egypt. See, that guy right there looked like an anteater.
Yeah, this was let me see if I could make that bigger. This is the Egyptian god Set. I mean, they had him drawn up like a locust. Yeah, I mean, almost looked like a little beetle.
You're like a bug, like anteater. But understand this, Israel. Every one of these gods, well, not everyone, but these were the gods that Egypt, the Egyptians worshipped. With these being the gods that the Egyptians worshipped, the Lord was showing them how useless their gods were if he chose to turn on the people, right? So, sir, you want to take us out?
Yeah, if I could, let's grab one scripture for me, and then I'll take us out. Exodus chapter 12, verse 12.
Got it. This is Exodus chapter 12 and verse 12. For I will pass through the land of Egypt this night, and will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both man and beast, and against all the gods.
Against what?
Against all the gods of Egypt. Against all the gods of Egypt, I will execute judgment. I am the Lord.
That's it. That is exactly what the Lord did inside of Egypt. You understand? And Josephus gave a good account of, some of the things that took place down there. And it's just to show that our history is all over the place. You understand? Like, who was that? Putin just released the Russian icons. Letting the world know that all the figures in the Bible are black and Hispanic. You know what I mean? Black and brown.
So, mentioning the Russian icons, sir, I went on Amazon trying to find one of those books, and I think a used one that was tattered was like $2,500.
Damn.
The book, it was a used one that was tattered for like $2,500. I seen one at the price of like $20,000. So it's a reason why they, you got that saying, if you want to have anything from a black person, put it in a book. But it's a reason why they don't want you to read these particular books, right? Understand is that during slavery, they didn't say that the black man couldn't read. He just couldn't read the Bible.
Right.
Sir?
Yep, that's it. You know what I mean? And they didn't want us to read the Bible because, people like Toussaint Louverture, you know what I mean? People like Nat Turner who, they took the Bible and read it, and they were looking for their exodus. We as a people, Black, Hispanic, and Indigenous people, we should be tired of this place, tired of the condition that we've been in. You know what I mean? Tired of being on the bottom. We should want something better.
Yes, sir.
And we'll get that by serving our God. Like having the spirit that Moses had, you know what I mean, to come up against the president, to come up against the king and say, you know what I mean, just leave us alone so that we can serve our power. You know what I mean? That's what the Most High wants for us to do. He wants us to stop worshiping Christianity, worshiping Islam, worshiping the so-called white man and his religion and his way of life, his Christmas, his national anthem, you know what I mean? Just everything in this place, we got to stop, giving our life to and giving our, giving our all for. Stop bleeding and dying for this place that does nothing but abuse us. You know what I mean? So, that's just part of the things that we're bringing out in this history class. I want to say Thawada to everybody tuning in. Thawada for this mighty priest and officer Abawan, you know what I mean, for teaching this class today and bringing out, some amazing history, amazing historical points, you know what I mean, amazing knowledge of the Bible and just giving this truth to our people. All right, so with that, I'm going to say shalom. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to classes. Yahweh Shemir Shabrak Thumb to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemar Thumb by Shemir Shad to all the sisters. All right. Tune in with us next Monday from 7 to 9 for another Monday night history class. All right. Shalom, Israel.